Afternoon, guys. Thanks for coming down here. I've called this a bit of an informal meeting. Obviously, we had the project introduction and presentation just recently, so you had received the project information. I'm going to have a talk to you, both of you specifically together. So, obviously, as you know, you're both tasked. You've both been given tasks to. As a part of the project, and both of your tasks are mutually exclusive. So it'll require a really close working relationship between the two of you. So Simon, you're looking after the logistics side of things, the research into that, and Kat, you're looking after the web-based side of things and the research regarding that. So our first task, obviously, prior to starting on this, is to ensure that your stores are able to be managed in your absence. Now, any questions or issues around that? Obviously, this is going to take up a majority of your time leading in the next 6 months. So, dramas, if you have any questions, Tim Henry has been tasked with overseeing your store operations. My suggestion would be to appoint someone within your store who you feel is capable of looking after the day-to-day running of the store, and then they can just delegate stuff, the day-to-day operational side from there, and anything above that, they can bring it to you. Outside of the project group, and Tim and I will work in and out of those two areas of your responsibility. Obviously, your store side of things is a potential barrier to the current plan, to the project, so it's important that we get on top of that early. So, like I said, I'll provide assistance from the project side of things, workloads, questions, anything like that.
Yeah, just once you get that information to us, it'd be good for Kat and myself to be able to pass that information on to our team members so they're aware that we've got other priorities we've got to focus on, and then delegate that responsibility to them so they know what the expectations of those guys are as well.
Absolutely, and obviously it's important too that if you, within your working group at your store, you don't feel you have anyone adequate to carry out that role, we need to know about that early, because that'll require us to look elsewhere if need be. So there'll be presentations given to your store members by yourself, and I'll be present as well, and so will Tim, to explain to the working group what's going on. Now, project-wise, your two areas of responsibility, obviously, I think we need to look at it from a short-term and a long-term standpoint. Like we have, once we as a management group nut out our time frame, from there we can sort of start to really look at things. But I think regarding your research, let's have a bit of a review of what we are currently doing, and let's have a look at what we can do in the short term to get this project up and running, and maybe with a long-term view of sustainability down the track. Now, are there any questions at this point? You guys have any inputs or anything like that? No? Kat, you're pretty happy with everything, or like obviously for you the store thing's concerned, so that as we discussed.
I think that might be good to get a consultant in from
Okay.
my specific store, just to advise us on what might be the best options.
From the project point of view?
Yeah, especially in the short term.
Yeah, look, that's probably not a bad idea. I don't think that's unrealistic. And look, that's something that maybe we need to discuss with Tim. So I'd like you to sort of put a small proposal together. It doesn't have to be anything flash. If you're not confident within this web-based area and looking at options, then perhaps it could be an option that we can manage within the budget that we've been given for the project. So we'll put a proposal together for Tim. We'll take it to him. I'll work with you on that, if that's what you feel is best. Simon, as far as you're concerned, obviously, I think it's best if we look at the current logistic operations within the business across all the stores. Now that's a fairly large task, I know, but recently we've sort of integrated most of it, so it shouldn't be too much of a step. There shouldn't be too much of a difference across the states and stores. Perhaps if we just focus on the major capital city stores, obviously, which now is down to about 10, and we'll have a discussion about that. Now, like I said, the logistics side of things, we really need to look at how the operations we've got at the moment can integrate into an e-commerce with minimum fuss. Obviously, short term, long term. Let's look at something that's more sustainable and maybe more economical.
Yeah, we need to understand whether or not a consultant coming in and running that side of things until we get a bit more familiar with it is worthwhile, or whether we just bite the bullet and sort of go into it from our own perspective straight off. So there's a little bit of research that I'll need to go away and do, and I think Kat from her side. So is the plan over the next few weeks to have a regular catch up and discuss where we're at, just to make sure we're all on the same page and what we're doing isn't working against each other's.
Definitely. I think that's very important, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. So essentially, what we'll do is we'll throw together a performance plan and some action plans. They will detail your roles and responsibilities, our key targets across the project, which includes timeframes. We'll also update the working group from each of your point of views regarding obstacles that you've encountered and any issues, so we can come together at these regular meetings. At the moment, we're looking at probably initially maybe a fortnightly to get us up and running, and then hopefully move to a monthly as our research starts to encompass and broaden out. A couple of things I specifically want for you, Kat, is I think we need to examine our competitors or soon to be competitors within this market. So I think it'd be a good idea. Let's hit Bunnings up. How do they operate with their online stores? Home Hardware. A couple of these companies that really utilise the e-commerce side of things and are doing it well. There's nothing wrong with a bit of
10. There's a range of different ones that we can.
Absolutely.
If we do this right, we can take the best of the different companies and make it work within our sort of logistical stream as well.
Totally. And let's jump on their websites. Let's utilise it. Get amongst it. Let's start our research off there. Let's see if we can find out who they use as well if they don't do it in-house. As we said, as per the meeting, we'll have regular reports and we can go from there.
No problem.
Cool. Thanks.